Alright, I'm back. Brotha Abdul here today to talk about a lighter topic, real light topic. Some fun to hopefully get us going, right? But the topic is being washed up or falling off. And we all from somewhere different, so everybody doesn't use the same type of verbiage for, expressing themselves. So I'm gonna try to explain to you the conversation that was going on with a couple of friends, and then I want your input on it. But we were talking about artists, we were talking about musical artists at the time, but this applies to athletes, this applies to everybody, really. Like in anything that you do, you can actually become washed up at it, or you can actually fall off. So after hours of ridiculous debate, right, we came up with, the general understanding of being washed up is you no longer have the ability to produce what you normally produce. And an example of which, one of my favorite rappers / actors, DMX. DMX was amazing to me. I am a DMX fan, even now. And I love him more as a man too, because he presents his, he lets you see his struggles, you know what I mean? He's not fraudulent, And as embarrassing as certain things about him is, he don't hide those things. I probably would, but I admire him for what he is. He's an honest dude if he's nothing else. But anyway, as an artist, I think DMX is washed. And some people say, oh, it's the coke, but DMX has struggled with addiction since his teen years. So I don't believe it's the coke at all. Never mind what I think it is. We could go into that later. That's a whole nother video. But the point is, I don't believe that DMX has the potential to even make music anymore. Not the type of music that that'll be actually moving, Not on a consistent basis. He might get a 1 or 2 in, but So being washed up is when a person loses the ability to make the hits. When a boxer, Roy Jones was washed up. You understand? Washed up. Roy was doing his thing. He got he fell victim to the hype, and he's chasing matches, and he was getting his head blew off, and it was clear that he wasn't that, he didn't have his movements. It is what it is with Roy, right? Washed up. So with those 2 examples, I'm gonna try to leave it there. That's washed up in our book. You are free to, remold the word and explain it in a way that makes more sense if you have a different definition. So falling off, we finally said, all right, falling off is basically when the public or your general audience is no longer checking for you. So it's really not about your ability as much as you being relevant. An example to me was Ja Rule. Everybody know what happened to Ja Rule. Ja Rule picked the fight with 50. 50 ended Ja Rule's whole situation. There was other outside factors, I know. You don't have to defend Ja, but that's the nutshell, right? So Ja got out of jail and he's, fresh out the pen. So he drops a record called Fresh Out the Pen. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's worth a listen, right? Ja still got it. It's just, man, don't nobody want to hear that, You can say, yeah, he sounds the same, but most artists sound the same. They don't really stray from their sound. So we say he's fell off, nobody's checking for him, don't nobody want to hear that, right? When does one know that they're washed up or that they've fallen off? How does one know this, right? And this blog right here is gonna turn into something a little deeper, because that question right there, we can go into that a little deeper, definitely like from a spiritual aspect of when to quit, right? But I'm gonna touch on that probably in the next blog. Right now, I wanna keep it very loose. Fall-offs. I wanna hear about all the fall-offs. I wanna hear about everybody that's washed up and why. I definitely need your reason, and I'm trying to understand the way you think. You know what I mean? I just told you in a nutshell how I think, and me and my good brother was talking about it. Shout out to Mr. Gallardo, and shout out to Tony Raddick. We spend a lot of time just having silly conversations like this, But this is what I'm into, so now that's what y'all into. Hey, one request, right? One request is everybody with a YouTube account, if you could actually, if you decide to, you know, leave feedback anyway, leave your comment on the YouTube account as well as the Facebook, because you'll probably see it on Facebook before you see it on the YouTube. So if you could just copy and paste whatever your reply is on both sections to assure that, you know, your voice is being heard, you know. And if you share the video somewhere else, you know, just let me know so I can, I just want to keep track of the conversations, really. This is all about conversations. Appreciate you.